Good morning students. I hope you are watching the videos regularly and doing the homework which is being given to you. So last class we have studied about the communicable and non-communicable disease. Today we will study about the infectious disease. So we have studied that infectious disease is spread from one person to another through the microbes. So today we will study about the different type of microbes and the disease caused by them. Now disease caused by bacteria is typhoid, cholera, tuberculosis, anthrax, diphtheria, tetanus, etc. Whereas disease caused by viruses are common cold, influenza, dengue fever, SARS. SARS means severe acute respiratory syndrome. AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Measles, mumps, polio, smallpox, chickenpox, swine flu, Ebola, etc. Next is the disease caused by protozoans. Malaria, Kala-Azar, sleeping sickness, amoebic dysentery, etc. Next is disease caused by helminths. Filaria, which is also known as the elephantiasis. Next is tiniasis, etc. Next is fungi. The disease caused by fungi, that is skin infection, ringworm, etc. Now next topic that we have to study is why do we need to categorize infectious agent. But before that I want to tell you that in that examination the direct question can be asked, like for example write the two disease caused by the bacteria or the viruses or the fungus, etc. Or else it can be asked, like for example the disease name is being given, for example tuberculosis is caused by dash. So in both way you have to learn. So you learn each and every disease plus the name of the microbes. Now next is that why do we need to categorize infectious agent? So it is important to categorize infectious agents because each group of organism have some common traits and many similar biochemical pathway. As a result, a drug that block one of the biochemical pathway of an infectious agent of a group would be effective against many other members of that group. For example, penicillin inhibits cell wall formation in bacteria. Human cells are not harmed because they do not have any wall covering. So here children, just note it down that in bacteria this covering is there that protect them. So penicillin used to break that covering. So as human cell is not having that covering, so it does not cause any harm. However, antibiotics are not effective against viruses because viruses do not use the metabolic pathway of bacteria. Therefore, in common cold, which is generally viral in nature, antibiotics have no role even in reducing the severity or duration of the disease. In case there is bacterial infection along with viral cold, antibiotic is helpful against the bacterial part of the infection. So now I think you must have understood that why scientists are struggling to get the medicine against this COVID-19. As you know, this COVID-19 is also a viral disease and viruses, as they use the metabolic pathway of the human being, so it is very difficult to kill them. That's why all scientists from all over the world are struggling to get the medicine or to make the vaccination for this vaccines to eradicate this COVID-19. Next is that means of spread. The disease can spread by two means, that is the direct transmission and indirect transmission. So mainly the infectious disease can spread. So infectious disease are also called the communicable disease because already we have studied that. So why they are known as the communicable disease? Because they can spread from an infected person to a healthy person. The means of communication are different for different pathogen. So first mean of transmission is the direct transmission. Here the pathogens are transmitted from an infected person to a healthy person directly without an intermediate agent. So here no intermediate agent is required. So here we will study how it get transmitted, contact with the infected person or through the sexual contact or contact with the soil or through the transplacental transmission. Next is the indirect transmission. In the indirect transmission, the pathogens of some diseases are carried through some intermediate agent. So here agents are required to transmit the disease. So next class, in explanation part, we will study about the transmission through the intermediate agent. It can be through the contaminated food and water, through the air it can also transfer. So through the vectors also it can transfer. So next class we will study. But the thing you have to learn, the difference between the direct and the indirect transmission. So the main thing is that in direct transmission, that is the direct transmission, intermediate agent is not required, whereas indirect transmission, it requires a intermediate agents. So I hope you must have understood. If you have any doubt, any query, you can ask through the WhatsApp or through the campus care also. But the thing is that you parallelly read the chapter also, so it will be more clear to you. And write down the homework that you have to write the name of the microbe, like the bacteria, viruses, fungi, protozoans, etc. Parallelly the diseases caused by them. So I hope you must have understood. Thank you.